Hello and welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I'm the brains and the beauty behind Yarncrafts by Nicole. And today we've got some fun things on this episode of Yarn Chats. So the first thing is my featured make. I've got on these cute granny square earrings. I made a lot of these for the craft fair that I'll talk to you about a little bit later. And these didn't sell, and so they're mine now. And I really like them. I like how they're inverses of each other. I'm a big fan, so kind of happy that these didn't sell because these are now mine. I'm going to link my Etsy shop, which is where you can find the other earrings, pumpkins, and mug rugs. I've gotten all of those updated as of today on my Etsy shop. If you like these and you want a pair, that's where you can find them. I'll put a link down below, but yeah, they're fun. I like them a lot. I've got a couple of things to show you. I guess we'll start with finished objects. That's usually where we start, right? And I don't have anything big for finished objects. I have lots of little things. So the first little thing is this gnome that I made for my bestie's daughter, who's due 2 weeks before my daughter. I made her a family set a couple of years ago, and when she told me that she was pregnant, that's actually how she told me. She's like, we're gonna need another gnome. And these are the colors they're using in her room, and I think she came out really cute. I like it a lot. So this one is a gift. And then because she also loves pumpkins, I made her a little Tunisian knit stitch pumpkin. So these are both gifts for her. And then she had asked me a while ago, one, if I had ever used glow-in-the-dark yarn, two, could I make ghosts for her boys? And I was like, of course I can make ghosts. And so I did. So I actually ended up making 3. You can see them here. Maybe if I just hold up, maybe 2 at a time. I did not use a pattern for this, but there are so many good ones out there. I just kind of freehanded it. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go. I think I made this guy first, and then I thought I had like all of the stitch counts correct in my head. So when I went to make a second one, I must have missed an increase row because obviously these are not the same size. So that is why I made 3. I made 2 for the boys who are closer in age, and then 1 for her daughter. And they all glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. And these were fun. These didn't take that much time. I just stitched eyes. I had some safety eyes left over from amigurumi kits, but I didn't have any that matched. So I just used black yarn, because I was going to stitch their mouths anyway. But I think they're cute, and I think they'll like playing with them. They're pretty small. So yeah, those were fun. And then I made my sister ghost down. I made my sister a pumpkin as well. She liked the striped ones. I made my mom a striped one, which I don't think I've shown y'all, but so now my mom and my sister now will both have pumpkins too. Yeah, so those are all of the finished objects. The rest of what I have, I have 3 whips. One of them is a secret and I can't show it to you, but I did do a lot of work on that. So I'm kind of sad that I can't show you that secret pattern test because it is gorgeous. And I'm almost at the halfway point, and I think it'll go pretty quickly after that point. But the other thing I started this week is, there goes my hook, a baby blanket. And right now, since I brought it from downstairs where I was working on it, all of my little yarns are tangled. Don't have a pattern for this. It is just a tri-color linen stitch blanket. I'm using the same colors from the Gnome, and then also a blue, so you can kind of see it. All of these are Heartland by Line Brand Yarn, which is a premium acrylic. I think it's premium acrylic. It's an acrylic yarn, and it looks really nice. So for these blankets, I'm making matching ones for my best friend's daughter and for my daughter. We're both using like light purple in our nurseries. She's doing light purple and mint. I'm doing light purple and blue-ish. Our nursery is going to be a bit of a hodgepodge. And so for their matching blankets, they're going to have 3 colors: the purple, the mint, and the blue. And right now it's honestly coming across as a lot of blue, but for hers, I'm going to do a border in the mint green. So I'm over halfway done with it. And it's going pretty fast. For like 2 days this week, this is all I wanted to work on because it went fast and it was a new project. And so many of my other ones are fingering weight. But now that I've kind of worked on it for a while, I'm getting to the point where I'm bribing myself between like working on a row of this and then working on a row of something else, which is fine. Which one of the things that I did not bring up, because I've been making pumpkins, and I thought I was done making pumpkins after I made a few of these. My husband had the idea last night, either last night or this morning, probably was last night, that our daughter needs a Cinderella pumpkin in her room, which is very cute. It's a very cute idea. So I had some blue yarn, and then I also had like the sparkly mohair that I'm holding with it. So the pumpkin itself will be blue, like Cinderella blue, and then the stem will be white. And then there's like a little charm I'm gonna add to it. It's gonna be very cute, but I don't have everything I need to finish that, so I didn't bring that up here yet. But you should see it in the next episode. That was a very sweet idea of his. So yes, I'm still not quite done with pumpkins. And the handful of pumpkins that I had left over from the show will also be on the Etsy shop. Like I said, I'll link that down below. The other project that I have is this guy. I think I showed it to you last week. It is an unnamed cowl using a join as you go method. This is a pattern test from Sass and Stitch. Believe it or not, I'm almost halfway done with this one. Nah, not quite, because I haven't quite gotten as deep as it will be. It's actually going to be 1 row deeper than this, so it'll be a good size cowl. So yes, I am liking this still. This is another one that, because it is a little bit more tedious with the color changes specifically, that sometimes I'm doing like a square, then a row of the linen stitch blanket, just so that I can make progress on both. But I took this one with me into the city Tuesday night and did some work on it on the train, and feel like I made headway on it. I think it was only, I don't know how many squares I did, but I did several on the train to and from the city, and I'm really liking that. The yarn for this is from Sunshine Queen Fiber Co, and it's so soft. This is going to be luxurious to wear in winter, and my Disney Villains bag. And that's all of my whips so far. I am planning on starting the Hattie T with the granny squares now that the fair is done. And then there's at least one other garment for myself that I plan on starting soon. So let's go into Yarn Love. This, I think, oh no, I didn't have the bag sealed. Thought I did. When I was working on all the things for the fair, there was a Tunisian scarf that I really liked the way that it worked up, and I thought it would be really cute in a cowl, using worsted weight mini skeins. And I thought about using these guys, but but there's just not enough yardage in these. I think that these are going to become flowers of some kind, either in a wreath or there's a really pretty, I think it's called Daisy Chain Tea from Made by Haley Bailey. Either they will become flowers on that or they'll become flowers in the wreath. But there's only 12 yards on these. They're only 5 grams. So I decided not to use those. And so I looked online for worsted weight mini skeins, because worsted weight mini skeins are just harder to find. Most mini skeins are fingering weight because they're originally designed for stocks. That being said, I did a little internet investigation and I looked at some of the yarn brands that I love, and there were some that could work really well, but a lot of the sets that I found for worsted weight mini skeins were a fade, which for many things is ideal. But because of the way that the colors transition this particular pattern, I wanted there to be a pretty stark difference between one color and the next. So I did not want a fade. It would probably look really pretty in a fade, but one, it would be easier to see stitches in this pattern if it's not in a fade, and two, that's just not the way I envisioned it. So I found this dyer who is out of Vermont called Black Sheep Dyeworks. I'm going to show it to you in the bag, and then I will show you the skeins individually. She is on Etsy, and then she also has her own website. If you have the choice to buy from Etsy or buy from someone's personal website, always use their personal website, because then they don't have the same fees that they will incur with Etsy. But what I really loved about what I saw online from her is that she had mini skeins that you could build your own set. So you picked, I think you could do this with both her worsted weight ones. She might have had DK and fingering too, but you got to pick what colors you wanted in there. And I think there were 12 total, and I picked 6 because I wanted it to look like a chromatic rainbow. And so that was really cool. And I think all of this, I think they were $6 a piece and 6 mini skeins total. So I think I spent like 40-ish bucks with tax and shipping. Not bad at all. Especially when you got to pick the colors that you wanted to. So I have not used this dyer before, but I really like these. They're 100% superwash merino wool, and worsted weight hand dyed, 43 yards is what I was looking for. There's 43 yards, 20 grams in each mini skein, and I love them all. Like, come on, it's so pretty, and they're very, very soft. So this is from Black Sheep Dyeworks. That is where you can find her. So I'm hoping to work on this pattern within the next few weeks. This week, the goal has been to get things that did not sell from the fair updated on Etsy. That is not finished yet, so I have not started doing any of the other pattern stuff yet until all that's done. Hopefully, I don't know, by the weekend or early next week, everything else will be updated. I only have scarves and hats left to finish putting up, but the lighting was working against me yesterday, and I just haven't had time any other day this week to get those specifically uploaded. But yes, so that was yarn I got. And then the other yarn you might have already seen if you watched the video that I uploaded on, I think that was also on Tuesday. My Happy Place yarn got here. So this was a collab between Tony from TL Yarncrafts and Hobbii yarn. I have never bought anything from Hobbii. This is my first purchase, and I love it. So I'm going to quickly show you what I got. I got 2 skeins of each color. If you want to see a little bit more about it, check out that video. It's pretty short. I think it's only 3 minutes. I will say too that when I uploaded the video here on YouTube, the quality of the video changed a little bit, but it's also on my Instagram. So this is the yarn. This is Happy Place. It's a 50-50 wool and cotton blend. It's very soft. And I got 5 colors. So this is blueberry, This one is Petrol. I almost went with the aqua, but I thought that would play better with the other colors I got in here. I got Hunter Green, which is a pretty light for a Hunter Green. I would probably call that like an olive or a moss. And then Aubergine, somewhere in this bag. It's really pretty. It's like a subtle purple. And then my favorite of these colors is ochre. Love that a lot. So all of these I'm going to be using in a granny stripe cardigan of some kind. Being that I am pregnant, I am not making any pullover sweaters right now. Cardigans are kind of the only thing that I'm working on, except for the Hattie tee, because it's cropped and it has a decent amount of ease. And I want to wear it to a fiber festival next month. I think it should still fit. I'll let you know. But very excited about that cardigan. I haven't decided on the pattern yet. Originally I was thinking of a hexagon cardigan, but there is a designer, Michelle from MJ's Off the Hook, and she's got a lot of sweater designs that use the granny stitch. So I might just use one of her patterns. Haven't decided yet, but hopefully we'll get to start that very, very soon. And I think that's all I've got to show you this week. So what I can't let go, kind of have a toss-up. Well, first I'll tell you a little bit about the craft fair. I actually wrote a blog post, which I'll link down below as well, about our experience with the craft fair, how it went. It started off pretty rocky the day of because it was raining, like thunder, a little bit of lightning for the first 2 hours, and we had not purchased the like heaviest duty canopy, and so like the seams were kind of leaking and stuff got wet, and it was a bummer at the beginning because we had done so much work and we felt like we had done things right, and then it just like the weather just worked against us. But once it cleared up, we ended up having a really good day. We covered the cost of things that made me feel good about covering. We got to meet a lot of people. Because we're new here to New Rochelle, we really hadn't seen a whole lot of the local maker community yet. And it was really great to meet other vendors, and to just kind of see that side of a new place, which we hadn't seen yet. So it ended up being a very good day. My husband is rock star. Couldn't have done it without him. He was great. He stayed real positive through all of the rain, and when he could tell I was stressed, he's like, you know what, we're okay, we're fine, nothing is getting ruined, and we could not have controlled this, it's okay. But later he was like, yeah, I would have been ready to leave if you had said let's go. So he was a great partner, and he's a really good salesman for crocheted items. So that is good for me to know going forward. He's very good at that. But like I said, if you want to read a little bit more, it's on my blog, which I'll put a link down below. The other thing we did this week, the thing that I really can't let go of on Tuesday, is Vaughn and I are big nerds in many ways, and we really have been enjoying Ahsoka on Disney Plus. So there was an opportunity for us to go see the most current episode in theaters on Tuesday. The episodes drop at 9 o'clock Eastern on Tuesdays, and we would be able to get to see this one at 8 on a theater in the city. So that was our plan. So we went to, we left our house around 5. We got on the train. We had Chick-fil-A for dinner, which I have very much missed being pregnant. I just want all of the things that I grew up eating, and Chick-fil-A is a big one. So we had Chick-fil-A for dinner, which was awesome. And then our goal was to be at the theater an hour early because we knew that they had oversold tickets and that tickets were free. and the email said to get there early. So we got there an hour early, and that was not early enough. The line had already started wrapping around the building. Some of the people that were in line were dressed up. There was somebody that was at the very beginning of the line that was in a Mandalorian costume. We saw a couple of Ahsokas. We saw a couple of other Jedi. So we got in line. We're like, we'll see if we get in. And we waited an hour, for the line to move up, and we got around the building so we could see the entrance, and then right at 8, they met their capacity for the theater. They told everybody else to go home. And I think we still had 30 or 40 people ahead of us. It's not even like we just barely didn't get it. We didn't get to go in. So it was kind of a long day of standing for a while, but we just came back home, took Scoot out for a walk, and then watched the episode at the house because it had already dropped by that point. It was a really good episode. But that's why I can't let go of this week. It's just how wild that night was. We're trying to make the most of being this close to New York City, because we know that we won't be here forever, and things will get much more complicated when baby girl arrives. But it was kind of a bummer that we had made this plan and that we didn't get to go in. But I hope that whatever your plans are going into this weekend are amazing. We are going to do a lot of relaxing and some work in the nursery, and not a whole lot else, and that's going to be great. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.